Welcome back, everybody, to Coach G Gaming. We are picking up on our Draft Day Sports Pro Basketball 2025 Dynasty, rebuilding the Detroit Pistons. We are ready to move into the month of November. We've got a 4-1 record to start off, and we're going to be going through the season here a bit and seeing how we do. So let's give us a little bit more of a sim than we were doing last time. Let's start off with like 2 weeks and kind of see how things are going. We dropped one to the Spurs there, and one to Brooklyn. So we had a hot start and a little slow to start off the month of November. 1 and 2 so far. There we go. There's a big win. First over Toronto, we've got an injury, it looks like. Let's go to our dashboard and see. Fontecchio's out 10 days. I don't think that should impact things too greatly for us. Since we've got a break in the sim, let's go and take a look at some of those box scores. We lost to the Spurs even without Wemby. That's disappointing. Brooklyn, that's a bad loss there. Cade only 9 points, 3 for 13. A lot of foul trouble. Then we turned it around here against Utah. Cade had 19. Beasley with 21 off the bench. And Toronto. Pretty solid outing there for Tobias and Cade. So not too bad. Not too unhappy with our start here. We've got a couple of cup games coming up. Toronto, Miami, and Milwaukee, and then Indiana at the end of the month there. So a couple big games here. Let's check and make sure everybody's good. Morale is good. Everything is good. We had an incident between Wendell Moore and Ausar Thompson. Let's see. We definitely want to keep Thompson happy. And Moore is not really all that important to this team. So if something has to happen there, we can deal with it. Let's go to the end of the month here. 0-1 in the cup games. That's tough. Back-to-back losses there. 0-2. I guess we are not going to be proceeding in the in-season tournament here. And we've got more injuries to deal with. Jalen Duren is out. Let's go and check back on those games there. We're on a 3-game losing streak. Dropped this in-season tournament game to Miami. Just a terrible effort from Harris, Duren, and Ivy. Minus 13s and 14s. Bam, 23 and 15, a block and 3 steals. We got smoked by the Pacers. Minus 27 for, jeez. A terrible effort there. Letting Turner go for 30. 14 assists for Halliburton. And prior to that, we lost the in-season tournament game to Toronto. Again, very poor efforts off the bench this time. Disappointing. All right, so Duran is injured. We've got to fix our minutes here. I want to first store my lineup so I can switch it back easily when needed. I guess we'll start Stewart. Thompson, we're going to move up depth chart. Paul Reed will probably take the backup minutes there. Okay. We'll give Stewart the start, see what he can do for what he's out 3 days. We'll just go through. Well, there's an in-season tournament win, but I don't think it's going to help much. Victory against the Pacers. All right, so everybody is healthy again. Let's check out the box scores of the 2 victories we had. First against Milwaukee. Giannis triple-double. But, still got the dub. Stewart, 11 points, 8 rebounds. It's not bad filling in. B-Ball Paul, 12 points, 7 boards off the bench. Keep an eye on that. And then we return the favor to the Pacers. Only 6 points this time for Miles Turner. Stewart did a really nice job, 30 points. That's kind of interesting. Maybe making a push for, for some extra playing time, even possibly, seeing if we should make a move with Duran. But for now, we got to stick with our starters. So let's put our lineup back and see if we can keep the wins coming here. Let's finish out the month, hopefully, without any further injuries. There's a win over the Celtics. Nice. And Duran had a big game. That game, he was the #1 player of the game. Another victory over Toronto. $39-21. I guess Duran does not want to lose his job. And another victory over Indiana. So we finish 2-2 in the Cup games. You see the D-League schedule starting up. There's a victory over Cleveland. That's nice. We're off to a great start. Much better than I anticipated the team would be doing. Quick save here at the start of the new month. Let's get a feel for some things that are going on in the league. We got one injury right now. Stewart, sore knee. He'll be all right to play through that, I think. Let's take a look at the standings. The in-season tournament groups. Philly went 4-0, Milwaukee 3-1, Cleveland 3-1, and then the next spot will go to whichever team had the best differential. I think it'll be New York. So 2-2, decent showing there. But looking at the standings in the East, we are currently in 4th. So far, we haven't had any major injuries. Just lost Duran for a couple games there. We've won 7 in a row. So, really picking up well there. Let's take on a press conference and see what they have to say. Our team is 13-6 on the year. What is your perspective on the season so far? I mean, I got to say that it really couldn't be going any better. We're doing a great job. And the team appreciates the positivity and morale is boosted. So that's a good thing. Coming off a 112-109 victory over the Cavs. What are your thoughts on that one? I mean, I think our guys are really crushing it right now. We got to go with that one. Attitude increases, little effort decrease. Maybe shouldn't pump them up so high. JB Bickerstaff is doing an excellent job. So I'm going to tell him he's done a nice job. I hope he keeps us winning. So that will help boost our skills. We're ready for an upgrade on our skills. I am going to, I think, evaluate. The potential is always huge for the GM, so I want to be boosting that as fast as I can, as well as the basketball IQ. Let's see, anything exciting happening in the news? Zach Edey was Rookie of the Month. Shy, the Player of the Month. Doesn't look like anything else, really, just a bunch of assignments and recalls. On the injury front, Peyton Pritchard for Boston. Broken finger, that's going to be a rough one for them. Let's see, anybody else? Really bad shape. Nope, nobody else too bad of shape there. Across the league leaders, SGA, holy cow, he's killing it in the first month of the season. Luka Embiid doing great. Cade 28th in the league, 22.7 points per game. Tobias 36th, nice. Of course, it's early in the season, a lot of inflated stats. Team-wise, we are the #1 offense in the league. We've got that pace that we're pushing the pace, getting a lot of shots up, and shooting fairly. I mean, we're shooting excellent for 41%. Again, it's only a handful of games early in the season. We'll see if that holds up. Let's see, what else do we need to be checking out? It's too early to start looking at and thinking about trades. So let's run another half and see how things go here. Big victory over the Pelicans. Our D-League squad. So it's either Toronto again. We played them a lot so far. Victory over Atlanta. Man, we are cooking. That's like 10 in a row. Whoa, big injuries. Let's see what happened. Beasley's out. Cade and Ivy. That's yikes. What happened? I guess the win over Atlanta did us in there. Cade, wow, what a game. Plus 25. 11 assists, 12 points in only 26 minutes. Tobias, man, he has been really, really good. But now we've got some issues. Let's Cunningham and Ivy are both probable. So they might be able to play. And Beasley's injured too, which isn't helping anything. Sasser might have to play a few extra minutes. As long as I can play through it, I think I'll let him play through it. I mean, again, offense first in the league, defense still almost worst in the league. So if we start looking at making moves, I think that'll definitely be an area that we look to. Let's see if we can get through our injuries. Oh, Holland, nice job. 4 steals. Playing some filler minutes. Cade was able to go that one. Okay, just 2 injuries still. Beasley and Stewart again. Both of them out. Sprained toe and strained calf. Let's take a look at those last couple games. The loss to Miami. And we struggle with Bam. It's the second big game he's had against us. Not much help off the bench. Stewart must have gotten injured in that game. Before that one, we played Miami. Did a better job on Bam that time. Cunningham and Ivy. At least, I mean, they played through their injuries. A lot of extra minutes for Holland and Sasser. Both did good. Holland, really nice there. Let's see. In games he's played, he was +7, -6, -3, +21, +2. He might be a guy we might want to give a few extra minutes to. Let's take a look at our depth chart. Lineup tracking. It's our best lineup. Cade, Holland, Thompson, Harris, and Stewart. Definitely a more defensive-minded lineup there with Holland and Thompson and Stewart. The one thing I don't see in these top 4 plus-minus ones is Jaden Ivey. Is he? He's here in the next 3, but interesting. He's not in the top 4. Our worst defensive lineups is, our starting lineup. I think about making some changes, but I also struggle to tinker with things when we're 17-7. And it's working for the time being. But I think the move would be to move Ivy to the bench, and maybe Hardaway too, and I don't know, maybe play more of Thompson and Holland. Let's try something here. Let's see if we put Thompson in there and give him the starters minutes and let Hardaway take the bench minutes. Let's go that one. All right. So let's roll with this for a little bit. We'll see what happens moving Thompson into the starting lineup and putting Hardaway off the bench. Let's see if our defensive output looks any better for the rest of this month here. Oh, we got smoked by LA. And 0-2 with this lineup. There's a win over a bad Chicago team. Breaking news. Terry Rozier, broken ankle. That's a rough one for the Heat there. We've got an injured player as well. It is Sasser. That's not going to be a big loss for us right now. All right, let's see. We're 1-2 with this new lineup. Thompson was a -12. Hardaway was -17 off the bench, so that didn't really matter there. LeBron almost went for a triple-double, 21, 8, and 9. Davis. Let's see. Without Stewart, in the game at all, so that probably would have helped having his defense. Thompson was a -9, Hardaway a +4. Sasser got obliterated, -29. Ivy a -23. Holland again, another nice game for him. In just 10 minutes was a +12. Look at that third quarter, lost 34-13, and that tells you the story right there. We had a great first half, and then just blew it right there in the third quarter. Cat 35 and 13. Brunson went for 28. And then we beat the hapless Bulls. Thompson -5. So Thompson in the starting lineup has not been. Look at Hardaway, +33, 23 points off the bench. Obviously, coach went with him. He got hot, played 30 minutes to Thompson's 20. So far, probably not. We gave 131, 112, and 94 points. So I'm not loving that switch. It's only a 3-game sample though, so I do want to give it at least a couple more games to see how it goes. Well, there's another loss to Brooklyn. So we are 1-3 in that setup, and we've got the Thunder coming to town, and Cade is out with a bruised tricep, so we're gonna have to make some changes again. Let's start Ivy. I guess we might as well bring Hardaway back in the starting lineup, but I want to see some minutes out of Holland. I want to see more minutes out of Holland than just 10. Especially since we're going to be without Cade. Those probably not going to be games that we're winning. Let's try to give Holland 20. And we'll try to give Thompson a couple of these minutes at shooting guard as well. Okay, that looks all right. So Cade's out for 3 days, so we're just going to go one by one. Yeah, no surprise there. We lost to OKC without Cade. More breaking news. Giannis, broken wrist. That is a tough blow for the Bucks, as he is going to be out a little bit more than 2 months. Still back in time for the playoffs, but the Bucks are going to be hurting for a little while. All right, is Cade back yet? He's back, but Ivy is out. All right, so we're going to put Cade in, Ivy out for a game. And we're going to give Cade those point guard minutes. I want to keep the other guys kind of where we got them now. All right, so we got Cade in here for his 36. And 1 game without Ivy at Phoenix, and another loss. So we come back to earth a little bit after our hot start. Understandable. Let's take a look at these last 2. This one was without Ivy. Let's see, Holland. -14. He got some good minutes, didn't do anything with them. Durant 34 and 12. Tobias was never going to do very well defensively against him. Let's see what else. We had the loss to OKC. Lost to OKC without SGA. That's terrible. Chet 26 and 9, 3 blocks. Thompson minus 14. Hardaway minus 13. Holland 0 plus minus in 21 minutes. Shot the ball terribly. That was a game without Cade, so wasn't expecting much out of there. We have lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of our last 7. Our points per game starting to come down a little bit. Our defense not getting any better either. Just a couple days left to finish up the month of December. So let's do that, and then we will evaluate where we are heading into the new year. And we've got another injury. Tobias is out for 2 days. And these little injuries, we are not good enough to overcome these small injuries here and there, I don't think. Let's get Ivy back in the lineup. Let's restore our lineup and put so we are going to go with this look, I think. We'll give Stewart the big minutes at power forward. Hopefully not have to rely too much on the bench. But depth-wise, we are just struggling. We are at the Kings. Kings are off to a good start, 23 and 9. Like a 24 and 9, just not enough to beat the Kings. Oh, there's a win over the Clippers, though. They had lost Kawhi at the beginning of the season. And no more games to finish up the year. So we are at the end of the calendar year. Ivy is probable, so we can put him back. And Tobias we can bring back as well. So 19 and 13 to start the year. That's pretty awesome for where I thought this team would be. Let's take a look at our team stats. Cade leads the way along with Tobias, 20.5 a game for both of them. Jalen Duren 14.9, Ivy 13.8, Hardaway 11.2. Rebound wise, Duren's hitting the boards solid. Stewart's only got 4.5. And he's playing 20 minutes a game. He probably should have more than that. Miscellaneous. Let's do advanced stats. Net. Beasley, Stewart, both positive net players. You know, if you look at our starters, 0.1, minus 0.7, minus 6.2, minus 11.2, minus 14.5. So we've really, I think if we're going to make a move with this team, it's got to be some defensive help. I'd hoped Thompson would do that for us. And you can see he started the last 8 games. But, I mean, it's just a bunch of minuses pretty much except for 1 game. So I don't like him in the starting lineup right now. I think we're going to swap that back out. I don't know, maybe give thing about Beasley, but that'd be an awful small lineup. I don't necessarily want to give Holland that time yet. I think we really need to try to find ourselves a a defensive-minded small forward. We can search. Let's search the players, see if anybody's on the trading block that might be interesting. So far, only Johnny Juzang on the trading block. So teams aren't ready to start giving up just quite yet. SGA Player of the Month again. Zach Edey, Rookie of the Month again. Power rankings, where are we at? 12th. We're down one spot. 19 and 13. No, it's not bad at all. Standings wise, we are third in the division behind Cleveland and Milwaukee. That's to be expected. Indiana's really struggling. So I think, maybe to look to a team like Indiana. We got to find kind of a strong defensive player who's, a small forward, because they can't. We can't move Ivy over. But if we find a big shooting guard that we could put at small forward. Let's see if anybody is a realistic trade target. I'm sure we could get like Thibault for nothing from Portland, but why? I don't know. I don't really love a lot of the options here at small forward. Maybe Nesmith from Indiana, Indiana's really struggling. They might be willing to get rid of him. What's he looking like on the year? He's playing decent. He could be a guy we think about. I think we'll make a decision closer to the trade deadline rather than right now. There's no reason to kind of do it now. I definitely don't want to give up something good or something valuable in terms of draft picks. I'd rather wait for some guys on the trading block and see if teams are willing to deal that way. But taking on the press conference here, again, they ask us a lot about JB. I just keep telling him he's doing a good job. How confident are we in the team's ability to achieve its objectives? I really don't think it could be doing any better. And the victory over the Clippers, I kind of want to take a more muted tone on this one and see if we can. I was trying to inspire a little, light a little fire into these guys because we've struggled a bit, but I guess that is not going to happen. So that's going to do it for this episode. I think we'll come back in with the new year sim and look to the trade deadline, the All-Star break coming up, and see how we look as we head into that. We've got that break there, All-Star break in the middle of February, and it is 38 days until the trade deadline. So we'll sim another 30 days or so, and then take a look, see where we're at. So thanks for joining us. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. Leave a comment below. Let me know if you're enjoying these sims, and of course you can get your own copy at wolverinestudios.com. See you next time, everybody.